pre-approval process. This is one of the first things that trips up potential new home buyers when they want to get started. After all, if you've never bought a home, are you supposed to roll into the bank and ask for the money to buy one? Do you have enough money to buy a house? Who are you supposed to talk to and when? And finally, what do you actually have to provide in order to get pre-approved? Do not worry. If you're asking these questions, then you just found the right video. Let's get to it. Hey, I'm Danny Barron, a realtor with the Barron Group here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and today we're going to dive into the pre-approval process. I'm here with our good friend and one of our preferred lenders, Mr. Geoff Bostick, and we're going to jump right into some questions about pre-approvals. So Geoff, one of the questions we get right out of the gates from every buyer is, when should I get pre-approved and how long does that take?
Yeah, I love that. When is, I often say, if you're within 6 months, let's start talking. And a lot of the barrier is I don't want my credit pulled or I don't want anything like that. So we want to remove that right up front. We can talk pre-approval with a soft credit inquiry. It's not going to be a hard pull. There's no impact to your scores or your credit at all. And it just lets us get that conversation started so you can see some real numbers and know what you're looking at.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I hear all the time from people is, if I get pre-approved, is it going to expire? And then is it going to hurt my credit score? And that hard credit pull is something that people are concerned about. And I think sometimes they might not even know why or what that's going to do to their life.
Absolutely.
But they've maybe heard from someone else that that's going to be a negative. So number two, what is a pre-approval and what does that entail?
Yeah, that's great because we want to also take these barriers down. So when we're looking at a pre-approval, it's that initial stage for, can you afford the house? That's really what we're looking at. And so when we're diving into that, we want to look at really three pillars. And those pillars are going to be, do you have stable income? We want to see, can you repay that loan? And stable income, a lot of times we do want a 2-year history of work. That doesn't mean you have to be at that job for 2 years. Yep. So I don't want anyone to say, hey, I haven't been at my job 2 years, I can't do it. Yep. Let's talk. So we're just looking for a history. So we need stable income. Then we look at that soft pull on credit. We want to see, one, what are your scores? But two, how much debt do you have?
Yep.
And then the last thing we're going to look at is, do you have down payment saved? And identify how much are you putting down, talk through minimum or more than that. And that's how we structure a pre-approval.
And Geoff, also something that people mention a lot of the time is help with down payments or grants or assistance of some kind. How does that work with lenders? And do people need to know about which loan product they want when they reach out to you?
Oh, great question. And what is tough is there are hundreds of loan products out there. And it's hard for someone that isn't in the industry, that's not a lender, to know what everything's available. Yep. So we get a lot of people that ask for specific loan programs that might not actually be their best fit. So my suggestion is, if you have information, great, come with it. Come with your questions. And if you don't, that's fine too. We are going to guide you to the best loan product for you. So common questions we get are FHA loans, and they're for first-time home buyers. And that's a misconception. It's actually a Federal Housing Administration loan, and you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. Yeah. Veterans, a lot of times they'll say, I have a VA benefit. If you're buying out in a rural area, there's USDA loans. And then there's different loan types for jumbos or whatnot. So there's so many. We don't want you to necessarily come and say, hey, I need this. Come and we'll dissect it for you.
Yeah, it feels like the big takeaway there is someone does not have to come and tell you what they need. They should come and say, what's going to be best for me?
Yeah, we don't want you to self-diagnose.
Cool. So how do you guys determine as lenders how much someone's going to be pre-approved for?
Yeah, so as part of that pre-approval process, when we're diving into how much income do you make and what your debts are, that's really going to be some of the determining factors. Sometimes I get the question, if I make X amount of dollars, how much of a house can I? And it's really this combination of income plus debt. Yeah. Now, somebody that makes $100,000, but they have car payments and student loans and installment debt or credit card debt, if they've got a lot of debt, they might qualify for less than someone that makes $50,000 with no debt, right? So it's not the income, it's the combination. And the other thing that we're going to be looking at is, it's not exactly a dollar amount on a house. We're actually qualifying you for a monthly payment, which the things that go into a monthly payment that is great info for a first-time home buyer, it's going to be the loan, it's going to be the property taxes, it's going to be the homeowner's insurance. There might be something called mortgage insurance or PMI on there that we need to talk about as well. So we qualify you for a payment, and then we actually work backwards to try to find a sale price based on your down payment and all the other factors that we're looking at.
So Geoff, when I'm actually ready to get pre-approved, what documentation do I need to have? Do I need pay stubs or evidence of any money that I have? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So I use generalizations because so many programs are specific to certain things. So I like to say, let's use the rule of twos, okay? And that just keeps it easy. Well, we're going to need 2 pay stubs if you work for an employer. Let's get your last 2 years of W-2s. If somebody's self-employed or their income's a little different, well, we're going to look at 2 years of taxes. And then we probably want 1 to 2 months of bank statements. So 2 for all these things. And the bank statements are just verifying the assets that are needed for down payments. I often encourage, get a Google Drive or get a drive set up on your computer, laptop, wherever. Start to put these documents away so that you have them, so that you're not stressed, trying to find them.
Awesome. So we've talked about all of the stuff that somebody would need to provide in order to get pre-approved. But at this point in the process, it's go time. What do you actually do? Are you supposed to go to a bank? Do you call a lender? Are you filling out a form? What does officially getting that pre-approval letter look like?
Yeah, so it's not like it was back in the day. You don't have to come with all of your papers, in hand into a bank. Now, I love meeting with my clients. If you want to do that, absolutely, it's fantastic. But the reality is everybody's on the go and we have so much technology, we can eliminate some of that. So most lenders are going to have an online digital application. We also, at Guaranteed Rate, we have an app that you can download and do everything that way. And then we'll create a secure task list for you to upload those pay stubs and W-2s and all that. The online form really only takes you 7 or 8 minutes. It's just basic information about where have you lived, where do you work, and just the basic questions, and we guide you through that process. So we've done everything we can to make this a super easy process.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that because I think some people might have this understanding that it's going to be much more difficult than that. And when it comes down to it, getting a pre-approval is what makes you dangerous as a home buyer. So it's good to know that it's not that complicated. Geoff, thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, hopefully this video was helpful to demystify the pre-approval process for you. Geoff is one of our awesome partners that works with our clients to make this process as seamless as possible. If you're considering a move, we would absolutely love to be your real estate team of choice in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and Dayton. And finally, if you found this video helpful, feel free to throw us a like and subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. We would always be available if you want to reach out to us via phone or at info@barongrouprealty.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.